Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
We get another look at the deadly home invasion and shooting 2 days ago in Rockford. This time, the view is from inside. The victim's sister hopes security camera video helps put the suspects behind bars.
The big problem is kids aren't doing anything and they get bored, and that's where trouble arises.
Rockford organizations push for positive solutions to the city's violent crime problem. Their programs remove obstacles to keep young people safe and out of trouble.
And the White Sox aren't just turning heads, they're bobbling them too. A State Line native launches new figurines while the Southsiders hope to secure a win in Texas. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson. Eyewitness News has gotten a hold of new security camera recordings from inside the home where a Rockford man was gunned down Tuesday. Family members say 3 men shot and killed 28-year-old Louis Lee.
Yesterday, we showed you video from outside the home. We do need to warn you, the video can be hard for some to watch, and we will not show the full clip. Our Rachel Perry spoke with Lee's sister today to comb through the footage.
New video footage shows the moments leading up to Louis Lee's death Tuesday evening. His sister Robbie Lee tells me it's extremely hard to watch. So when you watch that, what emotions is that?
My heart is broken, you know. I wouldn't want to see anybody get done like that.
Footage from outside the home on Jonathan Avenue shows the men approach the door and begin shooting. Robbie says she knows they came just to kill her brother.
If these guys were there to rob him, they wouldn't have emptied a clip out at him, you know.
In this next clip, you can see a gunman run into the kitchen, pointing a gun at Louis, who is hiding behind the fridge.
I don't even want to watch the videos anymore because it's haunting, you know. I could sit back and, you know, replay these videos and replay them back and replay them back. I can't do it anymore, you know, because that's someone that I share blood with.
Now she tells me she wants justice for her brother and is pleading with one person in the group who she says fled without shooting.
If you feel it in your heart to come forward, you know, you can come forward anonymously to me. If you feel it in your heart to come forward, please come forward.
Reporting in Rockford for your home team, I'm Rachel Perry.
The uptick in crime across Rockford has local youth organizations reaching out to children to get involved.
Michelle Rave spoke with a few local clubs. They say in order to keep kids and teens safe, it'll take support from the whole community. Michelle.
That's right. The spike in gun violence has some questioning what resources are available to teens. I caught up with 2 local nonprofits who are reaching out to those who need it most.
But we want to be a part of the solution of bringing a positive impact to our youth. So seeing the statistics with the youth that are currently in school and some of the struggles there, seeing the uptick in the violent crimes nationally.
With gun crimes on the rise, organizations like the YMCA of Rock River Valley are working to keep local teens on the right path.
Well, we have the Teen Reach program, which is geared towards at-risk youth and youth in general. Junior Achievers is a facet of the Teen Reach program, which is more academically geared towards college preparation.
For some, getting to these places can be a problem, but it's something the YMCA provides.
Wanting to elevate our engagement with the West and Northwest community here in Rockford, so being able to provide ways of transportation, so means of getting the students to and from a program that can enrich their youthful experience.
The Rockford Boys and Girls Club also offers teen outreach programs.
And we have trained mentors and trained staff that do that each and every day to try to help our young people stay out of trouble, but if they do get into a situation, they know how to get out of it.
Their CEO tells me they're working to get back many teens who dropped out because of the pandemic.
Pre-COVID, we were serving 650 to 700 kids a day, and obviously with COVID that impacted our numbers. But our numbers this summer did rebound, and I expect them to continue during the school year.
Both organizations agree. It all starts with teens just walking through the door.
And so we got to get kids back doing things. And the more activities they have at the Boys and Girls Club, at school, at other organizations, that's the best thing for this community.
Many of the programs offered by both the YMCA and the Boys and Girls Club are free. To find out how to sign up, I'll have a link to that in this story on mystateline.com. Mimi?
All right, thanks, Michelle. Today we learned 2 people were charged after a Wednesday crash that sent one to the hospital. Officers say they found a wrecked Chevy Malibu and a stolen Dodge Charger in a ditch Wednesday afternoon near the corner of Mulford and Baxter Roads. Police say the driver of the Charger tried to pass a car hitting the Malibu. The driver of the Malibu was rushed to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. The driver and passenger of the Charger ran off. Officers caught up with and arrested Eric Solis and Isaiah Fritz. Solis, who they say was behind the wheel, faces multiple charges and remains in the Winnebago County Jail. Fritz is facing trespassing charges. 1 year after a woman's gunned down in a Rockford alley, police are still searching for the man they say pulled the trigger. Investigators say 28-year-old Brandon Taylor killed Tammy Gonzalez last October on 15th Avenue. Police believe it was a robbery gone wrong. 2 other men involved in the crime are already in custody, but Taylor is still at large. If you know where he is, call Rockford Police or Crime Stoppers.
The head of the CDC says getting the flu shot is more important this year than ever. CDC Director Rochelle Walensky got her flu shot before giving a keynote address at a conference earlier today. Flu cases dropped to historic lows during the pandemic in 2020. Public health experts believe the flu is poised to make a comeback this year as kids go back to school and fewer communities have mask mandates in place.
This is why it is doubly important this year that we build up community immunity with flu vaccination as we head into the fall and winter.
Health officials say if you're eligible to get the COVID-19 vaccine, you can get both shots at the same time. Annual flu shots are currently recommended for everyone ages 6 months and older. A new study says women get a higher level of protection than men do from the Pfizer vaccine. Researchers surveyed almost 5,000 vaccinated healthcare professionals in Israel from December to July. Results published in the New England Journal of Medicine show by the end of the study, women 65 years or older had a higher antibody count than men in the same range, 46% compared to 37%. Antibodies in both sexes fell after 80 days, but women still had higher counts.
If you're looking for a fun way to kick off the end of the week, a local restaurant's hosting some celebrity bartenders tonight. The Winnebago County Sheriff, county board members, and local lawmakers will serve drinks at Fozzie's in Loves Park. The group is raising money for the sheriff's Shop with a Cop event. Around the holiday season, deputies will take kids shopping for their own Christmas gifts. Tips from tonight's fundraiser will be used at the shopping event. Bartenders will be there from 6 until 8 tonight. The National Bobblehead Hall of Fame and Museum is celebrating the success of the Chicago White Sox. It's releasing 3 bobbleheads today as the South Side team begins their playoff push. The bobbleheads feature Jose Abreu, Yoan Moncada, and Luis Robert sitting on a team logo. They cost $40 each. The museum is owned by 2 Guilford High School alums.
President Joe Biden spent the day in Elk Grove Village just outside Chicago. In his speech there, he backed vaccine mandates and declared them essential to ending the pandemic.
At the same time, Pfizer is asking the Food and Drug Administration to approve its COVID vaccine for use in kids. It could mean shots in millions more arms by Thanksgiving. Caroline Shively is in Washington with details.
On Thursday, Pfizer officially asked the Food and Drug Administration to approve emergency use of its COVID vaccine for kids aged 5 to 11. If they give the okay at a meeting later this month, 28 million children could be eligible for shots in arms sometime between Halloween and Thanksgiving. But a Kaiser Family Foundation survey says 32% of parents would wait and see if they'd get their children vaccinated. Another 24% said they definitely would not.
We still have a long way to go. The fact is, this has been a pandemic of the unvaccinated.
Also on Thursday, the White House released a report that says vaccine mandates have increased vaccination rates by more than 20 percentage points and could return up to 5 million workers to the labor force.
Vaccine requirements work. They're also good for the economy.
Some conservatives point out that U.S. COVID cases have already dropped almost 40% in the last 5 weeks and argue that more mandates would hurt businesses.
How many of these workers are going to quit working who are currently working in very strained conditions because Joe Biden wants to turn their bosses into his COVID police?
That was Caroline Shively reporting. During his trip to Elk Grove today, President Biden said the Labor Department is still crafting the rule he announced last month that requires private companies with 100+ employees to have them vaccinated or tested every week.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, for some, we had over an inch of rain come down. For others, it was just a little under half an inch, but that rain much needed here across much of the region. Areas like Freeport and Savannah. A little bit further to the west and northwest where we had some of those heavier showers this morning, getting up close to an inch to even an inch and 3/10 of an inch of rainfall there in Freeport. Bill in Freeport checked in here with just a little under 1.2 inches of rain, the most some areas have seen in quite some time. Quarter of an inch for weather watcher Ben in Belvedere, 0.8 of an inch of rain for Ben in South Beloit, and just 3/4 of an inch for weather watcher Bob here on the southeast end of Rockford. Temperatures currently sitting in the lower 70s. The rain, as I mentioned, much needed as we're still dealing with the severe to moderate drought conditions across much of northern Illinois. Not much change from last week to this week. In fact, seeing a little bit more of an extension of these severe drought conditions, kind of extending a little bit further over portions of northwest Illinois. Same thing for southern Wisconsin, too. Severe to moderate drought conditions and even extreme drought over far southeast sections of Wisconsin. Now, we had the showers come through earlier today. Actually had some dry air come in, allowed the clouds to break up and for us to see some sunshine. But you see a few additional showers beginning to rotate into our south across parts of Lee and DeKalb County. And these will kind of continue to lift to the north and northwest here, rotating around that low as it moves a little bit further into central Illinois. A live look with the Mercy House Skytrack camera now out of the Park Hills Golf Course in Freeport. Nice to see some sunshine out there too. And that sun allowing our temperatures to climb up here into the mid 70s in some spots. But with that low, we've actually had an uptick in some of the thunderstorms across central Illinois. Not really expecting too much of that to impact us, but as this low pressure system, you can really see that counterclockwise spin here on water vapor imagery across central Illinois. That'll actually pull closer to us. So that's going to bring back that chance for rain. And with just a little bit of oomph in that low moving overhead, we could get an isolated thunderstorm or two here overnight tonight. 72 our temperature in Freeport, 75 in Rockford, 74 in Janesville, and 73 right now in Janesville, I should say, 73 degrees. So as we go through time with Futurecast, now Futurecast little light on some of the rainfall. I think we'll see more scattered activity as we get closer to the midnight hour and then even into tomorrow morning. By tomorrow morning, that low is going to be overhead. So we'll hang on to some of those showers, isolated thunderstorm that'll take us through the noon hour. But as that low begins to pull further away, it'll also allow some drier air to come in. So we'll see gradual clearing there as far as the rain goes for tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. I think by the time the football games get going, there might be a lingering shower or two early on, but by the end, things will begin to dry out. We do see some sunshine on Saturday. Warm front to the southwest of us Saturday afternoon. That pulls up to the north, brings those temperatures into the 80s. We're right at 80 degrees on Saturday, low 80s then by Sunday. So 62 degrees for us tonight, an increase in showers, thunderstorms, areas of fog will be possible to 74 tomorrow afternoon. A few showers for the first half of the day and then drying out by tomorrow evening. Wind picks up too for the weekend, Saturday, Sunday. We bring those numbers back into the 70s by next week. Following the rainfall guys tonight, next chance for more measurable rain looks to come in on Monday and possibly Wednesday of next week.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with Sports Director Scott Lever.
The news that Justin Fields is the guy now at quarterback should be putting some spring into the step of the rest of the Bears players. I expect that to reveal itself Sunday afternoon in Las Vegas, where they'll play the Raiders. The Raiders are 3-1, but I'm not convinced they're as good as that record indicates. David Carr is having a good season, but his offensive line has some injury issues, and they haven't been able to get their run game going. And Carr is a pocket passer, not a guy who's going to roll out a lot or take off running. That plays right into the Bears' pass rush, and the Bears have 14 sacks in their last 3 games. They should put plenty of heat on Carr. I don't see the Raiders scoring many points in that game, and that should take some pressure off Justin Fields. The Bears' offense won't have to be great, just good like it was against the Lions. The Bears will sorely miss David Montgomery. Can Damian Williams supply a reliable run game? I don't know. I want to see the Bears stretch the field again by allowing Fields to throw more deep multiple times in this game and let Fields get outside the pocket. And this needs to be the week where the Bears involve the tight ends in their offense. I am hesitant to pick the Bears without Montgomery, but I'm going to again because I think the Raiders' offense will struggle against the Bears' defense. And Cairo Santos, with that record streak of 32 consecutive field goals, could be very big in this game. So I'm taking the Bears 24-17. I'm 3-1 in picking Bears games so far, so we'll see how this one stacks up. Now, on to the Packers. I was 1 point off my Packers prediction last week. This week, the Packers will be in Cincinnati to take on the 3-1 Bengals. Again, I think the Bengals' 3-1 record's a little misleading. They struggled against the Jaguars last week. They needed overtime to beat the Vikings. Their other win was over a struggling Steelers team, and they certainly didn't look good in their one loss to the Bears. On the upside, Joe Burrow is completing 73% of his passes, and he's thrown 9 touchdowns. He'll be facing a Packers secondary that'll be missing Jair Alexander. And the Packers' pass rush has been lacking, so Burrow could have a real big day. The Bengals also have the NFL's 7th-ranked defense, but again, they haven't faced any elite offensive teams yet except for the Vikings, and calling the Vikings elite is stretching it a bit. I think this game's going to be somewhat tight, but the Packers' firepower on offense will win out. I'm taking the Packers over the Bengals 31-24. That's my take. We'll be right back.
Candace, we'll have a final look at the weather in just a moment.
But first, here's what News Nation has planned.
President Biden selling his vaccine mandate today. What's the point now if it was supposed to take effect months ago? And why people in Chicago are mad that he isn't tackling a different issue. That's coming up on Balance Tonight. Now here's a look at Dan Abrams Live.
Thanks, Leland. Tonight on Dan Abrams Live.
Bashing bipartisanship. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell getting ripped by conservative media for striking a little deal with Democrats.
That's coming up tonight on Dan Abrams Live.
News Nation airs on cable and satellite stations you see here. You can also head to newsnation.com.
Had a little break in some of the rainfall here from earlier today. Starting to see some of those showers kind of rotate back in. Our first warn interactive radar there tonight. Temperatures in the low 60s. We'll start off our day with some rain on Friday. Warming up and turning windy for the weekend.
All right, thanks, Candace.
And thank you for spending some of your time with us. Stay safe.